The boy nobody believed. In. In a small village lived a boy named Riyan. From the time he was young, people laughed at him. He wasn't the best student in school. Sometimes he failed exams, struggled to answer questions in class, and wasn't particularly good at sports either. His classmates would often tell him, "You'll never achieve anything in life." It wasn't just the children. Many adults in the village would shake their heads and say, "That boy will never amount to anything." At first, Rian tried to defend himself, but over time he became quiet. When you hear the same words every day, eventually you start believing them. And little by little, Rian began to think that maybe they were right. Maybe he really wasn't good enough. But there was one person who never saw him as a failure: his mother. Every night before he went to sleep, she would gently stroke his hair and say, "Even if the whole world stops believing in you, I never will." Rian would smile when he heard those words, but deep inside, he struggled to believe them. One day on his way home from school, a group of boys humiliated him in front of everyone. That evening, he came home in tears. Looking at his mother, he asked, "Mom, if everyone says I'm a failure, why do you believe I can succeed?" His mother remained silent for a moment. Then she pointed toward a small sapling growing outside the window. "Do you see that little tree?" she asked. Rian nodded. His mother smiled and said, "Today it's small, it's weak. When strong winds come, it bends. But one day it will grow into a mighty tree, and when that day comes, people will stand in its shade." She looked into his eyes and continued, "People see who you are today. I see who you can become." Those words settled deep inside Rian's heart, and from that day forward he began to change, not overnight, not in a month, but little by little, year after year. Every day he worked on improving himself. He learned a new word, read a new book, learned from a new mistake. While others slept, he worked quietly on his dreams. The journey wasn't easy. He failed many times. He cried many times. There were moments when he wanted to give up completely, but whenever he felt defeated, he remembered his mother's words, "I see who you can become." Years passed. One evening, people throughout the village gathered around their televisions to watch an interview. A successful entrepreneur was sharing the story of his life. That entrepreneur was Riyan, the same boy everyone had once called a failure, the same boy they had laughed at. Now he had built a successful company that provided jobs for hundreds of people. At the end of the interview, the reporter asked, "What is the secret behind your success?" Rian smiled softly. Then he answered, "When nobody believed in me, one person did. My mother." He paused before continuing. Never underestimate the power of someone's belief. Sometimes a single person's faith can change an entire life. That day, many people in the village had tears in their eyes because they finally understood something important. The boy they thought was a failure had never been a failure at all. He was simply a seed waiting for the right time to grow. So remember, never judge someone by where they are today. Just as you cannot look at a seed and know how tall the tree will become, you cannot measure a person's future by their present struggles. Because sometimes, the person nobody believes in today is the very person who will inspire everyone tomorrow.